Hello and welcome to another episode of the James Granström podcast. And on this episode, I am talking about the warrior within. Thanks for tuning back into the James Granström podcast Super Soul Model series. Everything on this show is designed to help uplift you, inspire you, and give you tools and techniques so that you can grow and live an exceptional life. The warrior within is a fictional archetype version of yourself, and that character resides in and around your solar plexus if you're looking at the chakras. A warrior is someone who you may have read about in books or seen in movies, but this archetype is something that's very present within every single human being, but you need to awaken the warrior within for it to begin to help you on your journey through life. So a warrior is someone who fights for a cause, something greater than themselves. So what are you fighting for? What can you use as leverage in your life to help awaken the warrior within yourself? It could be your family. It could be for your kids if you're a single parent. It could be because you deserve more out of life, because it means that you failed so many times and you want to find another way of things working out for you. It could be just because you want to improve your circumstances and you've hit rock bottom. It could be because you've lost someone or something. And it could be because of for your tribe. It could be because that maybe there's a greater calling for you that you're wanting to tap into. Maybe it's to an activist to be able to help the ocean. Something very close to me. Maybe it's something that's important to you, like wanting to help, looking after nature. Whatever it may be, there's a reason why you want to activate and awaken your inner warrior, but it has to start with a purpose. So the warrior within is you. The hero of your journey is you. Any fictional warrior or archetypal warrior that you've read about in a book or watched in a movie, the warrior has a purpose. There's a reason why the warrior is there, and it wants to fight and take action through this adversity so that it can come back with success. That's the purpose of the warrior. So the warrior within you, this archetype, has a reason. So what does this warrior do? Well, the warrior within is just this energy that exists that says, I'm not going to take no, I'm going to find a way. When problems and adversity occurs, which they do in life, you find a way. And you don't back down, you live with purpose, because not everything's perfect. And the warrior within is not afraid to speak the truth. I've spoken my truth. I'm happy to speak my truth. I'm speaking my truth here on these podcasts, and it's easier to do, and it's very cathartic as I do it. But you have to find your own truth of what works for you, and activating and awakening that warrior within yourself will give you the courage, because it takes great courage to be open and honest in your communications and in your relationships, because your relationships are the most important thing. And when you awaken your warrior within, you're not afraid to speak the truth. You're not afraid to stand up for what you believe in, and you're not afraid to stand up and talk openly about things that are a bit tough in order to benefit other people, because sometimes people need a little poking to be able to say, hey, you're doing that wrong, you could do this better. But it's not our job to fix people. This is not what I'm talking about. The warrior is not here to fix people. It's here to awaken this energy. It's here to awaken what you're capable of. It's here to awaken passion. If you're lacking passion, you need to have some more problems in your life. If you're lacking any mobility or discipline, you need to awaken the warrior within, and that will cause by more challenge. The more challenges you have, the greater chance you have of activating your inner warrior. Your inner warrior is all powerful and knows what to do, even though it might not know the whole journey. It knows a little bit. It knows the next step to take, and that's sometimes all you need is just the next step. The warrior within will help you get clear on your boundaries, saying no more often. The warrior within will help you say yes when you mean yes and no when you mean no. Your time is precious. You need to protect your precious time. You need to protect your precious mind. Your warrior spirit, your warrior within, has a purpose. And if your purpose is to take care of your family, if your purpose is to make sure that there's enough food on the table and enough money in the bank to look after your kids, or maybe it's to make sure that you are comfortable and all your basic needs are met, then that warrior spirit is going to do whatever it can to find ways in which to provide that value and love to bring to your tribe. The warrior within has a purpose greater than him or herself. Another thing that the warrior within will do is it will get disciplined. A warrior is disciplined. If you have a soldier, look at them, they're all disciplined. A warrior within is more of a peaceful warrior. Sure, it can cause chaos, but at the core, it's benevolent. And the warrior within, this peaceful warrior within that I'm talking about, is strong at its core, but has real passion and real purpose to transform itself, transform the person that you are into something way better so that you can bring more value to the world, to take care of your loved ones, to take care of your people, to take care of anyone else as well as yourself. And getting organized is one of the greatest assets of the warrior spirit. So if you're not organized, you need to start to become more organized, because the more disciplined and organized you are, the more your warrior spirit will shine. Because as soon as this energy begins to grow, the world will demand more from you, and you'll be able to give it because you're living at a higher level of energy. And in order to make more money, in order to live well, in order to lead others and help others, and a warrior within is someone who's not afraid to lead despite challenges, despite adversity, is someone who has higher levels of energy. And what we need right now as a human society is more energy, more positive energy. And the greater energy that we have and we cultivate not only in ourselves, in our lives, the greater energy that we allow the people around us to tap into as well within them, we become a leading light, a leading example, a warrior within, a warrior of light, as Paulo Coelho says it in his book beautifully, to be able to allow others to ignite their own light within. Light is always shining, but the question is, are you hooked up to it? The warrior within is always prepared. The warrior within will find a way even when there is no way. The warrior within will take action despite uncertainty. The warrior within will find a way to be able to help people that he or she cares about. But when you get to this state of being, you know that you've activated your inner warrior. A few years ago, I was in Japan. I spent almost 2 years on and off in and out of Japan, and I have a real resonance with the Japanese culture and the way of life. And I definitely feel like that in a past life, I was definitely living in Japan. And one day I went to an exhibition actually just outside of Tokyo, and I came face to face with a samurai warrior. That samurai warrior had its outfit, it had its clothing, and it had its hat, and it had its sword. And I just stood in front of this samurai warrior's outfit that looked the size of a human being. And I was just looking at it, and I got these goosebumps. These goosebumps were just like, wow. And I looked into the eyes of this samurai warrior, where the eyes would be underneath the mask. And you know what I saw? I saw a reflection of myself, because what I found was that when you look at the glass of the samurai warrior's outfit, that reflection was me looking back at the samurai warrior's outfit. And it was quite fitting actually, and funny, because life is really a mirror. And I saw my own reflection in this warrior, samurai warrior. But what I was seeing it from a different perspective, was from a peaceful perspective, because I wanted to take the energy and archetype of that warrior and use it for my own advantage, to turn things into love, to turn things to create more peace, to turn things into being an ambassador for more well-being, peace, love, harmony and joy and balance in the world. And I knew that I had that energy within inside of myself, and it is now my mission and duty to be able to share that. So I'm activating my own warrior within, and each of us can do that. But it was quite fitting that when I stood face to face with this warrior, the samurai warrior, that's what I saw, that reflection. And life is always a reflection of what we're thinking and feeling and what's coming back. That's just the law of attraction. But it was very interesting to have this face-to-face experience with the samurai warrior, because I didn't see it as something as a war bearing thing. I saw it as a peace-bearing thing, because I knew my mission in this life was to create more peace, more harmony and more joy, and create more love. And that was how I was wanting to use that. But I knew it took passion, and I knew it took a different way of thinking than the old way of thinking than I used to be thinking. So, you know, that's my journey unfolding. And what I noticed also was that the warrior within is also activated in times of like pain. So when I had a relationship breakup, that pain that I felt really awoken my warrior spirit at a new level. It's like the shell just broke loose, and it was like, right, that's enough. I've got to do something differently. I've got to change my direction. And hence me starting up these podcasts, hence me wanting to help people, coach them through well-being, meditation, and all my other programs that are due to come out shortly. Another thing that has helped me awaken the warrior within, and something that you could think about, is facing my fears. So one of my fears was the dark growing up. And so I remember about 10 years ago, I was living near the forest. So what I used to do was every night, in the middle of the night, and I don't advise this for everybody, but this is what I did. Because I had quite a fear of the dark, and I was quite scared, and you know, you've got every right to be, because you know, our basic instinct is to protect ourselves. But this fear was kind of like still living into my early adult life. And I was just thinking, you know, I need to look at this differently. So what I did was I started running through the forest in the middle of the night by myself. And I remember one time I was running through the forest, and it was pitch black, middle of the night, got to be about 2 or 3. You know, you hear the noise, you hear all these noises, you think, oh, could there be someone lurking in the bushes? But that's the mind playing tricks. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But what I was wanting to do was face my inner fears, face my inner demons, a bit like Bruce Lee. If you ever watch Enter the Dragon, they're always talking about Chinese culture. And there I am talking again. I love this Eastern philosophy. I love the way it's weaved into stories and tales, and how it really can play like a large part of your psyche. And Bruce Lee would go on about that. You know, you'd notice in the Kung Fu movies that, particularly in Enter the Dragon, it would be like, you need to face your own demons, you need to face your own fears. And you know, that's very, very true of life. So for me, being in the dark, I've got used to being in the dark, and I'm happy that I can be in the dark and be still all right, because I know deep down inside that there's this inner light glowing within me that will show me the way when darkness occurs. So that was like my practical, physical experience for the inner mental plane of me understanding that even though in dark, I will be light. And even though I might have dark times occasionally, I will still find my way, because I'm the candle, I'm the light. And, you know, and it's owning that. So a warrior owns its own energy. And so you just think about that. What fears do you have? Have you got fears of spiders? Start picking up spiders. You know, gently go around them. Yeah, you're going to be maybe mortified to go near them, but you know, fearing fear is greater than just fear. You know, there's fear of the fear, as Jay Shetty said on one of his videos the other day. And that means you're just like, you're going to get the fear and you're fear of it. Any animal will react from fear. Any animal will respond through love. So your fearful energy shoots off electrical magnetic frequency. Your loving energy and calm energy and harmonious energy shoots off electrical frequency energies. If you ever notice animals, they always respond so well to loving, harmonious people. And the dogs that bark and shout and scream can be calmed down often when they're in a calm person's energy. And that's exactly like you. So another way to activate your own warrior within is by facing your own mortality. As you begin to have a little bit more life experience, you will notice that life is so precious and the people around you are so precious. And when I realized my own mortality, which is that I'm not necessarily going to be around forever like I thought of when I was in my 20s. And it's only when I began to think, what if I get to my deathbed and I haven't completed everything I wanted to complete? What if I get to that point where I feel unsatisfied and incomplete with my life? You know, that I haven't used this life up to my greatest advantage. I haven't been my authentic self. I haven't shared my gifts, skills and talents in a way with the world that I know that could really help other people. when I kind of got out of my way of just thinking, oh, I wonder what people will think, I wonder what people think by creating these videos and these podcasts, I had another image of myself going, I was really myself. I really turned up. I really exposed myself in a way that allowed me to help other people through my own experiences, and allow people the space to do that in turn for others. Because really what we are is messengers for each other. We're all here trying to help each other find our way home, walk our way home, and we can only do that when we really shine our light, so to speak, or light up the warrior within. Each warrior is walking each other one of us home, and we all, in the home place is this beautiful place, this heavenly state. And it's a place, it's a vibrational place that we're going towards. Now, sometimes you're there and sometimes you're not, but either way, that's what we're heading towards. We're heading to what poets would be calling heaven. Now, I want that for you. I want you to think about your mortality. Are you on the path that's going to lead you to a sense of satisfaction if you were to die soon? I want you to think about, if you were to die, are you truly satisfied with what you're doing, who you are in the world? Have you actually been your authentic self? If that was it, have you actually spoken your truth? Have you given so much love that, you know, your heart swells? Are people better off because you turned up in life and you were really your own authentic true self? Ask those questions, and if not, you need to start thinking about what else you could add to the world that's different from what you're already doing. That is when you begin to activate and awaken your inner warrior. I love Dan Millman's Peaceful Warrior. It's about a story of a guy of Dan Millman when he was a kid. He had a motorcycle accident, and in the motorcycle accident, it changed him from one person to another, and he was taught by a mentor how to think and feel differently in life, and he broke the old shell of the human being and transformed into a new human being, which was, I'm going to think differently. I realize I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. The way I interact with other people, learning about the laws of nature and learning about the laws of the universe, has helped him shape a new life, which has benefited not only him, but the people around him and others through his programs and books. I highly recommend you check out Way of the Peaceful Warrior with Dan Millman. I met Dan Millman a few years ago, and he is a beautiful human being, and he lives and breathes and walks his talk. But I've noticed you don't see much about Dan Millman anymore, because Dan's message is out there, and he doesn't need to do it anymore because he's probably in the twilights of his years now, just settling down towards the end. And he has made such a profound impact on my life through his books, talks and programs. And have a look at the way that he talks about the peaceful warrior. The peaceful warrior is someone who's really strong, but they're an ambassador for peace and an ambassador for light. And that's exactly who I am, and that's exactly what I want to share with you, because that's who you are as well. But you may have just forgotten it, but I'm here to remind you. And that's why we're talking about the warrior within today, because there's this inner strength, this inner burning, this inner yearning to be able to add value to the world, to turn up and share light and to help others, and to live with purpose and breathe with purpose, because that's what life's all about. My ancestors are Vikings. My ancestors used to rape and pillage people, and it sounds really horrible. But the warrior spirit for me is just a total switch up. Turn it into love, turn it into peace, turn it into harmony, turning it into conquering fear and choosing love, and conquering darkness and sharing light. Because when you're in the darkness, the only way that you're ever going to get out of it is by being the light, by being the candle in that darkness. And you can only do that when you really are yourself, when you are truly and utterly being authentic and moving forwards. The world will show up that you are a reflection of that beautiful light. The warrior within is awakened and activated through pain. The warrior within is awakened and activated when you're challenged. The warrior within is awakened and activated when you have lost something and you are trying to find another way. The warrior within is activated and awakened to fulfill a purpose from your heart that's greater than yourself. The warrior within is awakened through discipline and ritual. The warrior within is willing to put its own life on the line in order to create the highest good. So guys, thanks for tuning in today. I hope you activate your own warrior within sooner rather than later, because as soon as you do, we'll start moving with purpose in a new, fresh direction. Don't allow your circumstances to dictate how your life's going to go. Let your mind and let your heart choose which direction you're going to go. And when you have a purpose greater than yourself, you will activate your warrior within. And that's when things will really begin to shift from you. And you will have more passion, more life flowing through your veins. And you will add so much love and light to the world that the world will be knocking for more of you for your higher energy purpose. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Any questions, please DM me or right below here on YouTube. You can reach me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But as always, I'd like to say thank you so much, and I wish you green lights all the way. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this podcast. Please share it with as many people as possible who you think will appreciate this message of benevolence. Many thanks, and I'll see you soon.